should do it.
You know what we should do?
A show.
What show?
Yeah.
That's what I think too.
Me too. Okay, here it comes then. Starts in 3. Oh, that can't work. Okay, now it will. Oh, wait. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Here it goes. In 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
This is The Boop Show, episode 239. It's Monday, March 16th, 2020. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Boop Show. My name is Scott Johnson. That guy is Brian Dunaway, and we're back at it for a Monday. How's it going? What do you got there, Penguin? Why? What's that about?
Oh, hi, Scott.
What's the Penguin?
This is King Ping.
Okay.
He hangs out with me.
Okay. Tell
He's
me about
my
King
support
Ping.
penguin.
Oh, okay. Do you have to register him with like the Office of whatever support animal deals?
I tried, and they told me leave.
Oh, see, that's not good.
That's what I said. I said, "What? You don't believe in King Ping?"
No, they don't. They don't believe in King Ping. What is King Ping for real, though? I don't understand what this is. What is this?
So Kohl's does this great thing where they do Kohl's Cares, and if you're ever leaving the Kohl's retail store, and you may not be doing it this week, they'll often have these 100% donations or purchases go to help some things they do. Kohl's Cares. They have a couple of different things they donate to, but I've looked into it before and it seemed legit. And so when I leave Kohl's, a lot of times it's like, let me grab that cute little stuffed animal in the little book.
That's adorable.
And this guy's cute. He's so cute, and the book is cute too.
He is pretty cute. He makes me want to use Linux when I look
It's
at
called
him.
it's called Penguin Problems is the book
Oh,
by Jory John.
what kind of problems do penguins
illustrated
have?
by Lane Smith.
What problems do penguins have?
Oh, a multitude
Yeah.
of problems.
All right. They shitting themselves all the time, whatever it takes.
They don't do that.
Whoops. Sorry. That wasn't supposed to
Penguins
play.
don't poop.
No, well, of course they poop. They
No.
poop, don't they?
Penguins don't poop.
Penguins absolutely poop.
No, when they hold it in, and then when they get completely full, they just fall over and die.
Is that okay? So their whole life is just coagulating food waste,
Right.
And then okay.
Right. Correct.
All right.
Penguin facts.
Thought I knew some things about penguins. Apparently, I was totally wrong.
You know nothing.
But I do know some things about video games we're going to talk about right now. Someone in the chat says my voice sounds high today. Let's see.
Interesting.
What do you say?
Maybe if you stop sitting on your balls, you could take care of that.
Yeah, it says Tyros X7 says Scott's voice sounds a little high pitched. Getting a cold? No.
Right.
Do I sound high pitched to you?
You sound a little. I don't know how to explain it.
Do I sound tired?
No, I'm just kidding. No, you sound fine.
You
really don't sound. I think the difference is, I don't know. It's a good question. Are you inputting some different way with Skype? Because we're on Skype today. We usually do Discord.
Yeah, but they wouldn't hear me any
But
different.
you're going direct, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't hear me different. Maybe it's this Zevia or Mountain Zevia.
Zevia. It's got a little helium in it.
Yeah, I got a little helium in the Zevia. Mountain helium Zevia. Maybe too
Ugh,
much caffeine.
stevia.
I don't know.
Gross.
Could be any of those things. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk like this. Hey, Taro 76.
This talk, we've been playing video games.
Hey, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of
Quarantine hysteria is what this is.
reminds me of this. Where is it? Hold on. Didn't I keep you?
I don't like.
No. Where is it?
Sometimes I do almost do Elmo.
That's that one. Good
True
stuff.
story. No, that's exactly how I sound in real life.
I believe it. All right. Hey, so let's get right to it. Brian and I both played a video game that we're both, I think, equally excited about. And that game is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
You wanted to say The Blind Forest, but it's not. That was the last one. We played Willow Wisps.
Yeah. This is the problem, actually. This game, or these games, I should say, have very similar names to each other, and it kind of throws me off when I'm trying to talk about one versus the other. But
Right.
that is correct. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And
the Willy Wisps.
That's right.
As I will always call it now. The Willy Wisps.
Highly anticipated sequel to the 2016 indie hit, which took the world by storm, did real well. It's kind of a Metroidvania style game. A little bit of Meat Boy thrown in there, the old one anyway. This new one, from my experience so far, is a lot more like. Oh gosh, I'd probably compare this to something more like what's the robot ones where the Dig SteamWorld Dig 2 is what I'd compare this to.
Oh, that would be a good comparison because this platforming is a little bit different than the first one for me. It's a little more robust.
A lot more robust. And I would also say the other game didn't have like a central. Oh, this is you playing, isn't it? So I got to skip around some options.
You had to skip ahead a little bit there. Yeah, because I capture the whole thing. I probably should put a starting point on there for
Brian
you.
gets the whole enchilada.
Enchiladas.
It is. It's got like a hub where you can go and contribute to stuff getting built and getting quests and stuff and upgrades and all that. And that's very unusual for this series. It didn't do this in the first game. This is a lot more like SteamWorld Dig. There's a little bit of, I would say, a little bit of that. What's that other one? The skull with the little skull guy running around. What was that called?
Oh, Hollow
Knight.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
Hollow Knight.
Some
Yes.
Hollow Knight similarities.
That's a good comparison.
I think they kind of took some cool stuff from some of these other games and integrated them into their own ideas and came up with something that I think is really freaking great. It plays extremely nice. The controls are incredibly tight. The look of it is mind-blowing. I think it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. It's crazy.
For a Metroidvania, I mean, no other. Okay, so like you could compare it to Hollow Knight, and some of the visuals, it's like, oh, some of it's kind of dark and stuff, but this game is so gorgeous. Not only do you have just this wonderfully animated, well animated characters such as Ori, who is a spirit. You have everything in the foreground and background is moving too. Everything is in constant wind and motion. And it is just this fantastic little journey through a visual, just so visually beautiful and just always something going on. So animated. I think animated is probably the best thing to call it.
That's a good word. Animated. It's very animated. It's very alive. Everything just seems like it's organic and moving the way that stuff does. If this was really a forest and there was real wind there and whatever. Just beautiful. The original team, I don't know if they're all the same people or not, but the original team that did the first game were like some ex-Blizzard people and some artists that are known for
Moon Studios.
Moon. It's a really cool game. Mechanically, there's some similarities to the last game. In some ways, though, there's a lot of different stuff going on. There are perks and kind of a light RPG
there's
system.
Kind of it's more of a skill tree. You got shards you pick up along the way, so you can add that to your skills abilities, and it's really important. And there's even loadouts this time. I don't know if you played much. I don't know how much you played. I played around 6 hours, I believe, total. And I tried a couple of different loadouts, and if you mingle your abilities in just the right way, you can kind of lean or skew more towards the platforming of it, or if you want to be a little bit tougher and beat some of these great almost mini bosses. Sometimes you'll come across some characters that you're like, this guy's tough, and you have to figure out just how to beat him.
Not only that, but those mini bosses become like kind of regular occurrences after a while, so you have to start fighting those guys more often. There's like a crawl on the ceiling mechanic. There's lots of that sort of puzzly sort of environmental stuff going on. It's difficult. The first game was too, but in a good way.
I wouldn't even say difficult, because at first I was like, oh, this is difficult. I feel like the first game was difficult. I feel like this one is challenging because there is a real, in the first or in the Blind Forest, there was some times where I felt like I was not prepared for an area. And as a result, I would get frustrated. This one, even though it's challenging, I know almost right away whether I'm supposed to be in that area or not, if I have actually upgraded my skill tree to the right point. And I can pretty much just turn around and go, okay, yeah, this is not something I'm going to be able to accomplish at this point. Turn around. And they have really just got this great balance that I think is much better in this particular version of it.
I agree. It's very tight. Lot more abilities than you had in the first game.
A lot more.
You die a lot. That's okay. Because you start back where you were. No big deal.
Well, sort of, kinda. Right. So there is one weakness that I did find, and it was a little frustrating. And I found out I wasn't the only person in certain areas, especially. This is brutal. It's Meat Boy in that fashion. Sometimes you're like, why can't I get past this part? And you're right. When you die, you don't get much of a penalty sometimes, except sometimes you get the penalty of spawning in a location that obviously wasn't considered very well, because I spawned in this one spot. I kept spawning over and over again, and the particular enemies in the spawn point was almost impossible to get past. And I would just like get killed over and over and over again. And it was a little frustrating. And finally was able to get past that point, and I immediately took Ori as far away from that area as I could, so I didn't accidentally respawn in that spot again, because it took me a good 20 minutes of just being in the wrong place, because as soon as you spawned, there was like 4 different enemies in 4 different directions, and they were just killing me instantly.
That's no good. You don't want to die
painful.
Instantly. You want to die slowly in life. That's
Right, but you're right. Usually the penalty is, okay, you got to go back to your last checkpoint, which is kind of odd, because this is a backtracking kind of game where it's like you do start out going left or right, but you pretty quickly start going backtracking a lot. So,
yeah, it's like a Metroidvania game. You'll get an ability and you'll go, oh yeah, that thing I used to not open up, now that'll open because I got this sword thing or whatever. So you want to go back and like clear that stuff out, and then you find out there's a whole bunch of new stuff. For example, this map thing opens up and you can't go further till you talk to this map dude. But the map dude
I'm the map. He's my favorite character, by the way.
He's pretty great.
The map guy with the springy ears, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like a bug robot sort of looking thing.
Right.
But you have to go find him, and to find him, you actually have to go back to what is almost the beginning of where you started the damn thing. So
yeah, his name is Lupo, and I actually don't do this very often, but I preloaded this game. I preloaded this game almost a month ago now, and Lupo is right there in the center of that one picture. This is my Game Informer I get from GameStop. That's right, GameStop.
I heard a bunch of those guys got laid off. I heard that's bad. It's not good.
What's that?
They got laid off the Game Informer side of things.
I hope not. Don't say that.
I'm not saying it's going away. I'm just saying there was a
chunk
of staff.
But that's okay, because I feel a little better now because Reggie's there now. Reggie's on the board.
Well,
he's on the board.
He's on the board of GameSpot. And part of being on the board might be him saying, "We got to shut that magazine down. See, shut it down now. See."
That's fine. I'm just saying that I love this magazine because it gave me the opportunity. I think this came out. This was my February edition, I believe. And so I was able to take a look. I preloaded Ori and the Will of the Wisps on my Xbox. I played this on the Xbox. I don't know how you played it. But I got to dig in a little bit and learn just a little bit about the characters before I even started. And did you play on the PC or did you play on the Xbox?
PC.
I'm pretty sure you played
PC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Xbox Game Pass, I think is available there on the PC as well, right? The Game Pass?
It is. You just do PC Game Pass, and that's how I'm using it. Yeah.
Now, since I preloaded, I already had the game loaded up from about a week prior to the release. And when I started playing, because I hit the ground running as soon as it came out, I was every day marking my calendar. When's it going to be out? Not yet. How about now? And it was bad laggy. I mean, it was the frame rates were terrible.
Yeah.
When the first night I played, and then they fixed it very, very quickly. Like I think the following day I jumped in and it was smooth as butter.
Yeah, there was something with the PC version too, and nobody was quite sure what was going on there, but that seems to be fixed. There's still there's an audio bug on the PC side that I experienced today, just a little bit. It's not terrible, and mostly it happens during either scripted scenes or cutscenes. But every once in a while, the one of the sound channels will just go for no reason.
No, that's no good.
It's sucky, but I'm sure they'll fix it. It just sounds like they had a few launch bugs, nothing too terrible. But
this game weighs in at around 11 hours if you're on average to complete. But I see this game having a long tail because one of the loadouts is speed running. And this game really does have a whole class of speed running puzzles in the game. And actually, I declined. There was a race that the first race they came across. It said you got to jump from here to here to here and get here within I don't know, it's like 45 seconds or something. And I just instantly said no. I am not prepared to go running like that because I've been in this platforming mode. I am not going to be in this rush mode. And so I kind of declined then. I'm going to go back and play it again, though, in a different loadout. What did Did you have a particular loadout, or was you just playing it
So
as
far,
you
I've
unlock
only,
things?
I've not, I only have played it today so far, and I've only gotten to.
You're probably. I
Little,
think the default. I think is a platforming layout. I mean, as you go along, if you progress naturally, I think the first loadout is mostly towards the platforming, where you can double jump in areas and do the slide across.
Yeah, I like
to-
that you can go change that stuff at any time, though. You can go like, hey, I want my perks or my spirit shards to be this instead, and just kind
Right.
of mess with those. I think that's cool. The first extra ability I bought, the one you buy with coin things,
Right.
was the little helper guy that fights with you. The only problem with that dude is he lasts like less than 3 seconds or something.
I thought about him because the first buy, he tells you, he gives you the whole, oh, it'll be more expensive later, but your first one's going to be super cheap. And you go, okay, what do I want? And I think what did I end up going with? Oh, I ended up going with a ranged weapon, which was dumb because I didn't realize I'd already picked up a ranged
Oh,
weapon.
because you got your arrow. You get the arrow for free.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
even realize I had unlocked it, and I didn't even realize I hadn't equipped it
Oh.
to the button, because that's what you do. You map your certain abilities to your A or whatever you're using controller. I was using XYB on Xbox controller. So.
Yeah, same. That's how
And you
I'm
can
doing it.
map those in any button order that you want to do as you go along.
Oh yeah,
And-
I wouldn't play this on a keyboard and mouse if I were whoever's
Oh,
playing it. If you have this
no.
on PC, make sure your controller's hooked up because that's the way to play.
absolutely.
It's a very, very cool game. We're both, relatively. Brian's a little further than me, but we're early. Still plenty to play and get through, and I'm stoked because it's just
Are you
kind
gonna
of what I needed.
Are you gonna do multi playthroughs?
Probably not, because not that I won't want to. Maybe I will later, but Animal Crossing coming out this week and Doom.
Oh yeah, Doom Eternal.
Yeah, it's going to be
There's
hard to do that.
Well, I think so too, but I think I'm going to try to complete it as close as I can get to completing it through a single run through with the platforming layout, if I can make it all the way through with that loadout. And then I'll probably come back to it in a couple of months. It's the same thing with the Blind Forest.
Mm-hmm.
I hardly ever have deleted it from my applications because I always seem to come back to it, kind of like Hollow Knight.
Mm.
I'll keep those two things loaded up almost constantly, so that I just it'll be just one of those days, and I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want some platforming. And just dig a little deeper.
Yeah,
Dig a little deeper.
I agree. But
Midget,
I'm
Midget
definitely.
Wookie is saying in the chat room, Hammer is good too, and I've been looking forward to getting the Hammer. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah,
though.
somebody told me on the stream today while I was streaming it that I was dumb to get the helper guy, and I should have gotten the hammer. But I always go for the flavor I like, and I like helper guy. I like pets. I like dudes along my side, help them kill stuff. I like that, but it isn't like that. He doesn't just float with you and help you kill stuff. You pop him. He does some pretty good damage for a second, and then poof out of existence while you hopefully have more energy later. And so that it's nice in a pinch, but I was hoping it was more consistent. So the hammer's probably where I'll go next.
Right.
But it's a neat thing. And the thing that makes these games work is how they feel. This game feels just amazing. Just feels so good.
I feel so badass with that with my arrows because the way this thing is done is it's platformer, side scrolling, and so it has auto aim on those things. However, the auto aim is only as long as you have a direct line of sight.
Right.
And so sometimes you have to manage and move your character to a certain place, jump in a certain area before you can shoot. So there's skill involved, and I keep evolving my skill as I go along. And it's definitely a skill-based platformer. I mean, you can't it's not a button masher. You might would get lucky a couple of times with just mashing buttons, but you ain't going to get there far.
Nope. But it's super satisfying once you get the rhythm down and figure it out.
Oh,
And
yeah.
didn't take me very long, and I was coasting and double jumping to the right places, and just felt good. I would even at just this stage of play highly recommend this, especially if you got Game Pass on PC or Xbox. Why wouldn't you do this?
No-brainer.
Even if you don't, I think $29.99 or whatever it is
Totally
a
worth it
steal.
at that
Yeah,
price.
it's a steal. It's very good. So it's right up there. I mean, it's a little early in the year. It's also a weird year, but early in the year to say. But it's one of my top games. Of the year.
For indie game, I think it's going to be tough to find something that's more satisfying than this. Now that something may come along and revolutionize everything that's going on, but this is like the first Ori, except it is well refined, and this is a highly polished fun, balanced game.
Yeah, it's a piece of work. I like it. So check it out. That is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, not to be confused with The Blind Forest, which is the first game. Although I wouldn't not recommend playing the first one. It's good if you have it.
Yeah, plus you can get it super cheap too. I mean, it's always like on a deal somewhere for less than $5 most of the time.
Yeah, this is all true. All right, I'm going to tell you now about Avernum 2: Escape from the Pit.
Vernon.
Avernum.
Oh, Avernum. I thought you said Vernon.
Also, there's something weird about your Xbox playthrough of Ori. It's like really low frame rate. Was that the problem you were having?
Yeah, that was what I was telling you about. And it's actually not even a bad. It was actually even worse than that when I first started. The first time I played it, that was actually the second time I played it, and it was ganky there, but it cleared up a lot.
Oh, good. Clearing up is good.
Cleared up a lot.
Like a zit. All right. Hey, so my game is called Avernum 2: Escape from the Pit. Now, this is an older game. Came out in 2012. But it looks even older than that. It looks like it was made in 92. It is some old ass school looking RPG business.
Right.
But what they lack in visual...
What font is that?
Well, what they lack in visual panache, they make up for in depth and story and systems. The combat is all turn-based. You are doing... I don't know what to compare it to. It's like, Baldur's Gate-ish sort of thing. It doesn't use D&D rules specifically. They use as their own system, but works quite well.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me, Brian, didn't you play this back in the day? I would go, no, I don't remember this one. But it is not like anything that was made in the last.
Oh, it looks old as dirt. Like it looks older than I think obviously it's kind of on purpose. And all their games look like this, by the way. They keep making them. The name of the studio is called Spiderweb Software. They're known for this weird shit. Like, hey, what if we made a game that looked like it's 20 years old, but has some really good depth and everything? And it does. It has great depth. So if you're a D&D fan or anybody who likes sort of turn-based games and you want to have wizards with all kinds of spells and cool shit to do, you want to have guys with big swords and brave hearts doing stuff, you want lots of loot to dig through and figure out what the best loot is. Like, it's one of those. And
is this you playing? Who's playing?
I don't know who this is.
I haven't seen a move yet.
Well, they're in there fighting. They're fighting those wolves.
Okay. They're when a move.
Yeah. If you look around, you can see people moving, and then someone will cast a spell. Somebody did a debuff.
Wizard needs food.
Yeah,
badly.
Wizard needs food. It's all this isometric stuff. The art is, again, very early 90s. And but it does play at 4K and all that, has great music and all that sort of thing, but it does look like it's old. I think they mean to do that on purpose, but it's their way of like love lettering back to that era of gaming, but also kind of moving forward. Now again, this is even
lots of times, I don't know, moving forward, I mean, a lots of times these retro games, they'll keep the pixel shapes and stuff. These guys actually went with the coloring and everything. It looks like there's actually a limited palette they choose with the coloring. That's unusual.
Yeah, it's almost like 256 color max VGA business. It may be even, I don't know. It's a lot like Ultima 5, kind of the Ultima 4 rather, that era. It is $10 is all.
$10.
Normally, I got it
for... What do you hear about the game I bought? Go ahead.
I got it for like $4 or something on sale. So it's like cheap. And... yeah, it works weirdly. I like them. They have an iPad version of one of their games. I forget which one it is, though. It's not this one. Maybe it's Avernum 1. But anyway.
That would make sense. That would make too much sense.
Yeah, make too much sense. But it's weird. It's like, it looks like ass, but it's kind of deep and good. I respect that.
It's deep and good.
I respect that. And 2012 was, that was even a long time ago, 8 years ago or something, close to it. And, yet, it kind of.
Do we get mashups from this one? Did they pull audio clips from this for your little mashups? Because
no.
You say some amazing things in this show sometimes that I think we should capture in.
Usually, you should hear me yelling stupid stuff during games like Ori and the Will of the Wisps when I fall off the thing and yell shit as loud as I can. How about that? Or I scream.
I was actually told the other day while I was playing Ori. One of the chat room attendees said, "Yeah, me and my 5-year-old are watching you play because we can't watch Scott play this because
I cuss. I cuss.
Potty mouth.
I can't help it, and it's always just the S word. It's not like I'm
right. No, it's not just the S word. It's the way you say it. You drag that thing out.
Right. I mean, here's me playing. Here's an example. Okay, I make a lot of that. Here's another one. Okay, see. This is how you get it. Let's see. Hold on. I think I have one where I sound like a girl. Let's see. Is this it?
I think I'm a girl.
No, that's not.
That's great. I sound like a girl. And then I say, I sound like a girl.
How do you spell scream? Oh, there it is. Okay, how about this one? No, this is... No, that's not it. I can't find it. But, I sound like a chicken is what it is. Hold on. Chicken. Here we go. Nope. Okay, here it is. I found it. Me screaming like a chicken during Resident Evil 2 remake. Here you go. Like that.
Oh my gosh.
I do that a lot.
That is such a chicken. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's bad. Either that or like, hello, like freaking Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire? I can see that too. Is that where you burn your boobs?
I put stuff on my face and burn my boobs. Anyway, so available now. It's a thing you can get, and it's a dumb old thing, and I like it. Brian, tell me about. Oh, you got the thing I got. I love Blazing Beaks. Tell me about
did
your
you get
playing.
the Blazing Beaks?
Well, I already
Good,
had it. I had it on PC forever, and then the Switch. They had that Switch deal for like what was it, $1.99 or whatever.
It was $1.99. I've seen it a couple of times. This comes from appletv4. It's called Blazing Beaks, and at first I thought it kind of looked like a duck game, kind of a co-op kind of thing. Is what I was kind of thinking it was, but it's not quite that. It is a roguelike.
Yep.
And like I said, I only played it for I laid in the bed and played it for maybe 30 minutes last night because I just saw it in the store and I was like, oh man, I need to talk about something other than Ori because I spent almost all my time this week for reviewing on Ori. Yeah. And it was interesting. So the idea is here you pick one of these birds who has different weapons that by default they can use, and you're just it's almost a dual stick shooter, but it's not. I really wish it was a dual stick shooter because it's kind of you kind of have to fire with the trigger, even though you're aiming. It kind of is.
You mean you want to fire with the aim trigger?
Yeah,
as well
I just want it to be a true dual stick because there's no penalty for just holding down the fire, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what I like about dual stick shooters. You just a lot of them you're just going right. You just aim and the bullets are just flying constantly. And on this one you have to actually. You have to actually hold down to a trigger button to do it, and it never overheats or anything. And that kind of annoys me because I'm like, why not just auto fire? Just auto fire, make it easier on me. But yeah. So this guy here, it's not me playing, but this is how I played. The first duck you get before you unlock any other really cool birds. By the way, that's why they call it Blazing Beaks because there's a bunch of birds. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, this guy's got like an air rifle or something. It doesn't really hurt anything. It just like pushes them back, and then you defeat some of the enemies, and some of the enemies will drop like eggs that are explosive, and they'll blow up stuff. And it's a lot of moving around like a dual stick shooter and avoiding things that you've accidentally set on fire. Essentially, you got to watch out. There's spikes actually if you're looking right now, and I ran over. I was stand over spikes. I don't know why I'm so bad at that in games. Mm-hmm. I am blind to spikes. I have like some kind of spike blindness.
Spike blindness. That's amazing.
I will stand right over top of a spike panel and just stand there and go, ugh. And I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. I can't see it. Yeah. It's my weakness, I suppose. But yeah, you can unlock as you go along. And the big thing that I think is probably a big seller for this game is the co-op. I think you can play up to like 10 players or something. Is that what I read? Is that even right?
I think it's only 4, isn't it?
Maybe so. Well, it's like 10. Okay, 10 playable local co-op. So maybe only like
10 playable characters, and then 4 of you can play. Right. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all these animals. They have different starting weapons. I can't stand the mallard starting weapon. That's like a little punch gun thing. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I do like. I forgot which duck it is or which creature it is, but there's one of the creatures that has a great little repeater gun that's super good, and I use that almost exclusively.
That's what I had later on, and I really dug that. And some of these frogs, like this frog that was on screen just now,
the invisible frogs, dude. Ugh.
Yeah. He'll just disappear on you. He's like, where'd he go? There he is, his little feeder coming this way.
Yeah, stealth frogs are terrible.
One thing I do like about it is all procedurally generated as it goes along, but if you lose a screen, it'll give you the seed, so you can actually go back and regenerate that particular map.
Yeah, you can try it again if you want to.
If you want to try it again. So I think that was kind of cool. So, I mean, you could really like, if there was like a really cool screen that you and your friends wanted to really, just really load it out, it'd be fun to do.
Yeah, it's got a great retro style without trying to be too in your face about its retro styleness. It feels like a SNES game or something in terms of its look. It feels, I really like it. This is one of my favorites on on Switch because you can just sit and lose yourself in it. It's very good.
That's where I have it. I got it on the Switch, and it was like I said, $2 right now. Now last week, people had listened and said I had a 5-cent game, and that thing's up to like $5 now or something like that. So you got to act fast in these Switch deals, man.
Mm-hmm.
Get on it.
Yeah, no question. The first boss, that tongue boss. It's about to happen here on video. He's a real pecker weasel. I don't like that guy.
He's a real pecker weasel.
Yeah.
But I love the character design. It is super cute. It fits right in with this style, and is beautiful if you ask me. For $2, Blazing Beaks. The music isn't kind of inconsequential. By the way, the music in Ori is fantastic.
It's so
I want the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's really good. The first story soundtrack also extremely good, and that is on streaming. You can get it real easy, but the new one's not yet. So watch for that. Yeah, I just want to throw in my support of Blazing Beaks. It's been on my hard drive for a long time, especially early on. The developers sent me a code forever ago, and it was in like early access or beta or whatever. And I just loved playing it, and I couldn't wait till this came out on a portable device. It turns out it's really good on Switch. It's often on sale on there if it isn't still. So you can get a good deal on it.
As of last night, it was still on sale for $1.99. That's what I did. Yeah. I said, "Here you go. Take my money, Nintendo."
That's a total money taker for sure.
There is some options to adjust some of the controlling options, which I was hoping I could like turn on like a auto fire, but I couldn't do it. Like I said, I don't see any reason not to have the auto fire just constantly going.
Mm. Oh, by the way, correction. Apparently, Will of the Wisps is streaming all over the place. I was wrong.
Oh, the song. Yeah, I was curious. I usually try to, since I do Spotify, I pay for the family membership, and it's like $15 a month. So I have anytime a game comes out with a soundtrack, a lot of times if it'll show up there on Spotify, and I'll
Spotify has it, Apple Music has it, Google Play has it, Amazon has it. It went everywhere, so everybody's got it today or yesterday or whatever.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Totally right. Sorry, everybody. I screwed that up. I didn't think it was out yet because I was listening to the old one and just hadn't gone and checked. But there it is. Okay. Excellent. By the way, there's a great article. These guys in the chat just posted it. It was posted in 2019 in August. The title of the article, the blog, was "Why All of Our Games Look Like Crap," and it's by Jeff Vogel, the dude who made that Avernum 1 and 2 game.
Yeah, the one he's talking about. Yeah,
and he goes into great detail as to why he does it and what he thinks about how people make games and how they should make whatever they want to make. And they've made a bustling business for themselves with this thing. His first game came out in 95. They've been at it that long. They continue to sell. They just had a very successful Kickstarter for another one. Like, I don't think they care. I think they know what they got, and their people know.
Absolutely.
And they are pretty happy with what they've done. So
nothing wrong with that. Make the game you want, because that's really where the joy is, especially the indie market, because that market is really crowded. So you got to make it for you.
Yeah, make it for you, yo. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, make it for you.
All right.
You and your pals.
Quick mention, I'm playing Warzone, the Call of Duty Warzone Battle Royale mode thing. It's free to play. Mm-hmm. You don't have to own Modern Warfare to own it or to play it.
Oh, really?
Yep. If you do own it, it just integrates directly into it. If you don't own it, you can just download it as a separate thing. It is pretty freaking good. I mean, I've tried all the battle royales, and to one level or another, I either like them or I really dislike them. I haven't found anything that I really, really, really like yet. Apex Legends came close. This is the closest I've gotten to this is what I want out of one of these. And I think it's because there's a focus on just on the ground, scrappy gameplay, and not a lot of hiding out. Although you can, I mean, in all these games you can camp a little bit, right? But
right,
I feel like I'm right into it. You jump out of the plane with a damned pistol, because why would you leave a plane without any weapon at all? This game gives you a weapon, which is nice,
right?
But then you got to go up and
so
up
wait,
other
so
weapons.
like, are you shooting as you're parachuting?
You are. I mean, you can, yeah.
Right, but no, is this mostly for when you'll be ready when you get on the ground?
Yeah, exactly. Because once you get on the ground, that's when all hell breaks loose, and you're gonna have to start fighting. And so it's much better than just punching dudes with your dumb fists. I really like it so far, and it looks good. It feels good. It's got all the movement and quality that the current Modern Warfare game is known for. If you have Modern Warfare, this is just a free update, and all your stuff. Your skins, your characters you've unlocked, any other progress you've made in the game, that stuff all carries over. and the other direction, by the way. So anything you unlock here carries over to the main Modern Warfare game. For free players, anything they do here, if they ever do decide to have full-blown Modern Warfare, all that stuff will carry over for them as well. But they can just get in and play. It's a fully free downloadable client that you run through on PC. It's through Battle.net on Windows or on PlayStation and Xbox. You do it through through the stores. But you can just play. Like there's no. They're basically. I mean, I think this is their final. Finally, they have a aim against Fortnite, or this is their plan.
Right.
And their plan is to make it a platform that continues on whether or not there's a new Modern Warfare game. It doesn't matter. They don't swap it out for next year's version. It is a long-running thing. They'll do updates over time. Like this is their platform for their BR game, and it's got all the weapons you need. And one nice little touch to it, I think, above other games, especially ones that are built on kind of realistic gunplay and stuff, is the ring that closes in all the time in these games.
Oh yeah.
And some of them, they just look like big walls of green or a big wall of blue, or it's like, oh, look out, here comes the
dome. Oh no.
Exactly. But this game has what looks like actual gas, because it's like it's toxic gas coming in, and it's freaky. It changes like the color tone of the whole world because it's got this volumetric lighting stuff going on. So it makes everything kind of get a green hue out on the edges. Plus, you look around at it, it's just like this awful, ominous, like, ooh, I do not want to breathe this shit in kind of problem going on.
Right.
So it actually is the first time that's actually mattered to me or made me feel like that was a gameplay
that's
element.
good.
Yeah, it
feels
cool.
very arbitrary otherwise.
Yeah.
By the way, you said something earlier, and I quickly wrote it down because I was thinking it'd make a great comic.
What's that?
You said your dumb fist.
Yeah, I have a dumb fist for sure.
I was thinking, man, wouldn't that be great if you were constantly arguing with your dumb fist who was always wanting to get in a fight with somebody, and you're like constantly trying to talk it out of it?
Yeah. No,
Come on, you dumb fist. Stop it.
Yeah, stop it, you dumb fist, you stupid fist. I played this game with community member White Fox and with Garrett Weinzerl the other day. We had so much freaking fun. We died a lot, but we had fun. We never won. I got as far as, I think, third in that run. And that was fun, but I've yet to win. There's what was I going to say? There's another cool thing. Oh, there's two modes. There's, Battle Royale, which is exactly what you think it is. Upgrades all over the place, get some health, get some stuff, whatever. There's other mechanics in like buying upgrades and things I haven't really talked about that are different than other games, but it's, people can learn about that when they go look at it. But the other thing is, that I really like about it. Oh, there's two things. One is if you die in this, you're not dead. You go to the gulag, which looks like the shower scene from The Rock. That shower scene in The Rock? Yeah. So you go in there, and now it's a one-on-one fight with other people who have died from the game.
What?
If you win, you're back in. You get to go parachute back into the world and go for it. That
I like.
It's cool. It's very cool. A lot of people just bail and go try for a new match, but I always stay because I like doing the one-on-one pistol with some idiot.
Right.
They can also. There's also a third option where there's a station where they can buy your resurrection.
Right.
So you still have one more chance for your teammates to bail you out. And also when you go down, they can come heal you. That sort of thing. So it's very cool, and it's just enough sort of, the fun and movement of Call of Duty with a little bit of a more realistic take on combat like you get with Call of Duty. Yeah. It's just, to me, it's feeling real good, and I'm super stoked to keep playing.
I'm with Fibble, though, in the chat room, is gonna puke. Please change.
Oh, sorry. Away. It's a little choppy. Sorry. It is a fast little jerk. It's a lot of jerking around and stuff, which you need for Twitch shooters. That's what a game like
that,
but this guy who's playing too is a little twitchy.
He was bad. Yeah, he was jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
It was. He must have one of those precision mice.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but sorry guys, I won't put that up anymore. Anyway, so tell me what else now that we're all locked in the house for the freaking coronavirus, you've been playing Super Mario Party. How's that?
Yeah, I played Super Mario Party, and but I did mention what a great fiance I have. We was at the Walmart, and I'm like, out in front of the little little thing there with the games. And what do you call that? Just a little kiosk.
Yeah, what do you call that? Kiosk?
I guess you
Kiosk.
can call it a kiosk. So I'm staring. I'm looking longingly into the games. Like, oh, I wish I had this game. Like I'm 8 or something. I wish I had this game.
Mm-hmm.
And so she comes by and she goes, "What game do you want?" And I was like, I want Super Smash Brothers or maybe Super Mario Party. And so she was like, well, pick one. And I thought I picked the other one, but apparently I picked this one. So I got home and I was like, I guess you're playing this now. I thought I was getting Super Smash, but I did not. So Super Mario Party, first time I've played any of these.
Really?
At all.
Never
First
played
time
an
I've
older one.
played.
Really? Okay.
My kids played the Super Mario parties, and I always wanted to get into them. But during the time they were doing this, I was big into first-person shooters, and I ain't had no time for this. I ain't got no time for this.
Yeah.
And so we sat down and we played, and I had a blast. Ethan showed me how to do it, showed me how to play everything, and I was like, oh, it's like the things we were playing like board game stuff. Right. And it was like, which one do you want to play? And all the games were like, this will take an hour to play, and I'm like, holy crap!
Right.
Holy crap! But it was good.
It's fun.
It was fun. Oh my gosh, that hour just went by, and we all sat on the couch and we had fun together.
Yeah.
And it was just a good time for us we're all, like you said, we're all spending more time in the house now. And is perfect timing. And
if you like board games with your family, that's what this is.
Yes.
It's a digital
It's
board
actually
game.
better.
Yeah. I agree.
It's actually
and
better.
the mini games have always been fun. Like, it's just a good time. I like it.
It is.
Yeah.
But the only thing I didn't like, the way we played, the version we played. I know there's multitudes of different modes in this thing.
Sure.
But in typical Nintendo fashion, as has been since the great days of the Mario Kart, there's always a catch-up mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
So,
blue shell mechanic.
Yeah, so if you're winning like at turn 7 and you're going to 10 turns,
yeah,
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in trouble, because I was winning at turn 7 and I said, crap, I'm about to go down. Yeah. Sure enough, I ended up last.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they just kept screwing me over. It was mostly Waluigi.
Yeah, Waluigi's a giant dick, by the way.
Yeah, can't stand that guy.
Yeah, F him.
Can't stand that guy.
Yeah, he's a toad. I almost said he's a toad, but he's not even that, because Toad is actually in the game.
Who you hate more, Wario or Waluigi?
Oh, I love Wario. Wario's the man. I don't have any. My complaints about Waluigi. I know you'd think it'd be the same because they kind of are cut from the same cloth and whatever, but right. I love Wario, and I don't know why I love Wario. Just that am I gonna win?
he's so big. It doesn't make any sense how big he is. He's just like way too big.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's real weird, but he's great. I love him, and I don't want him to ever leave these games. And Mario Kart is my favorite. Just being a huge dick up and down the track, just going, am I gonna win? Whereas Waluigi's just,
yeah, pretty much. He's just a big, tall, lanky weirdo.
Yeah, I don't like him. Do not like. All right, well, I'm a little jealous, actually, because I wouldn't mind playing this with the kids right now. This looks like fun.
Do it.
Yeah, I might have to get it. I don't know. We'll see how much longer we're freaking locked into everyone's houses.
It's gonna be good.
Woe is us. We live in a time of ridiculousness, and like all the things that we get to do during this quarantine is.
Oh yeah.
What people are complaining, and I cannot figure out why they're. I mean, I understand they're complaining about the reasons we're doing this. I don't want this. I don't want the downturn. I don't want any of the stuff that happens. I'm just saying, this could be the 70s or the 80s, or even some of the 90s. Where we don't have phones, we don't have high-speed internet, we don't have shit. You just have.
Come on, Scott. We had phones.
You have
just rotary.
Yeah, exactly. You got chutes and ladders, and you got old Barnaby Jones reruns on TV on one channel.
Right.
And you might, if you're lucky, you might have some old VHS copy of I don't know, Empire Strikes Back that your friend ripped off and copied for you. And it looks like shit.
You can even make a living now. I mean, the only way you can make a living from home back then was maybe be a telemarketer. But do we even have telemarketers then? I don't even know.
I mean, we did, but they were.
Right.
My mom answered the phone, so I don't know. I didn't ever get it.
Now, we joke, but the chat room is saying because sometimes some people will lose jobs.
No, I'm not. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not
in the service industry.
We're not forgetting that
week to week.
None of this we're saying we're forgetting. Let me make this abundantly clear. I'm saying it all sucks and it all needs to happen quickly so we can all get back to it. I'm not saying I want this to stay. What I am saying is this: if there's going to be a period of time in human history where this happens, this
is a pretty decent time.
This is a pretty decent time. But people who go, I'm not going to stay home for this. I'm not going to stay home for this. There were other generations that be, they're being told they have to go to war if they're 18 or older. So like, it's okay. It's okay. We'll do this together. We'll figure it out.
Not that Scott's minifying the fact that you may be losing your job.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Right.
Dude, this is bad for us too. This isn't good for anybody. It's not good for anybody
as far as staying home for entertainment goes.
Yeah. But if other people don't have a job, then I don't have a job. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't.
Absolutely.
We're all hit by it, and we will be hit by it. My only point is, what other time could you have access to so many things? Kindle full of millions of books.
Right.
An iPad full of 1,000 comics, a hard drive full of hundreds of video games, the internet running at speeds that you could do what you and I are doing right now, or talk to your friends, or go play WoW, or do whatever you got to do. And then, guess what? Later you can go watch every Marvel movie ever made on a streaming service that you only paid $6 for.
Until you can't afford the $6 anymore because you can't go to work.
So I'm not saying you shouldn't worry. I'm saying
right.
I'm saying
I think that
better now
the
than
takeaway,
20 years ago.
I think probably the takeaway is no better time to be at home to entertain yourself. But still, the same other things apply as would have any time. The monies is the problem.
I ain't got no toilet paper either. We're running low.
Right.
Yeah, which is stupid. Nobody needs all that toilet paper. Still don't understand it.
Do they?
No, they don't.
I like just one person to. I know there has to be at least one person. They're all keeping very quiet. I would like just to hear the truth. I mean, we've all made all these conspiracy theories about what people who bought toilet paper is. I want to hear somebody come out and try to explain away why they needed that toilet paper. I just like to
guarantee.
I'd like to know the reasoning.
A, they won't, but B, it won't be. There's no way it's a good enough reason that they would go buy that much.
No one's about to
paper.
step forward and say that because that's a good way to get, beat up.
Unless they're pooping 124 times a day, they don't need it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You just don't.
I'm using it right now.
my seat is so much more padded today because of all this toilet paper that I hoarded. Actually, I didn't really. Even if you had 8 people in your house, you just need
I have a theory on this.
Is saying. What?
I have a theory on this, of course. I think some areas of the grocery store are more easily ransacked, like bread. Bread takes up a lot of space, and they only keep as much bread on hand and allocate as much space as is needed for a short term because bread turns over quickly. Toilet paper, I think, is packaged in pretty large packaging. So I think when you wipe out a whole toilet paper aisle, I don't think it takes that many people to do that. And I think they turn it over really quick because of the size. It takes up a lot of room.
In the short term, toilet paper companies are making bank. In the long term, there's going to be a shortage. So knock it off, everybody.
Right.
Knock it off. Okay. Moving on. Let's do, guess our game time, dude.
Why is there not an indie game about the coronavirus? Every time there is a tragedy,
this is happening too fast. They don't have enough time to develop it.
Every time there's a tragedy or war or anything, somebody always comes up with some kind of controversial video game. I'm waiting for the toilet paper game.
It'll happen.
Waiting for it.
It'll happen. There'll be some toilet paper game on Steam, and I give it another month, and then you'll see it.
All right, good.
Yeah, it's all happening too fast. They couldn't put one out this
too fast.
All right, now this.
It's a me Mario.
Okay, we're gonna play
Toilet Paper Tycoon.
Oh, that's perfect. Go register that domain now. Get it going.
Right.
Lock it in. We're gonna do guess our games. We guess each other's games. We try to see if they're any good or not. And that's fun to do. Yes, it is. That's right. They're fun. I'm going to play my sound. Brian, you can try to guess this. It's mostly music. In fact, it's entirely music. So it's a little bit of a cheat. But let's see if you can figure it out. I will tell you this game came out in 2000, 2001, somewhere in that range. Okay? Here you go.
Okay. Oh, I like the music. Let me get my Casio out. I have no idea, but I love this music.
Wow, no one in chat knows it either. Nobody know it? Animal Crossing, first one.
Oh my gosh, you knew that was my weakness because I never played the first one.
I know, that's why I did it. Plus, you've been playing New Leaf so much. Yeah, that's the original Animal Crossing New Leaf. which came out in 2000.
What? That was New Leaf? I'm playing New Leaf.
Not
That
New
can't
Leaf.
be right.
Sorry. It was just called Animal Crossing. Sorry. It
Okay,
came out
fair.
on the N64 in 2000. It was only in Japan at the time. When they brought it over here, it was on the GameCube. That came later. And that was the beginning of an obsession that I've had since then. And
Dude.
it's super weird.
I put in between maybe 2 to 3 hours a day on Animal Crossing New Leaf since I started about a month ago.
Just wait till this weekend.
It is insane how much time I put into it. And now I'm like, I've been developing my area and expanding my house. And then I found out that if I use my amiibos, there's stuff like I can buy a new 3DS or a Wii U in the game, and that opens mini games.
Yep.
And I'm like, holy crap, there's a game in a game.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Help me.
The DS game actually had built-in versions of certain arcade games, so you could play. I had Balloon Fight in my little house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so all you had to do is you had an arcade machine in there, and you'd launch it, or maybe it was a little NES or something, and you'd launch it, and you could go full screen Balloon Fight. I think hockey was in there. Some other
Hockey?
stuff, yeah. The old Nintendo hockey game, which
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had this
I know what you're talking
skinny guy, middle guy, and fat guy were your choices for the players. Anyway, it's amazing. Animal Crossing is amazing, and I cannot wait for this weekend. And so I thought it'd be fun to.
I can't remember who told me. It might have been Tazarel or somebody told me recently. They said, I can't play that game. I can't stand the way the characters look. And that was probably one of my biggest holdbacks from playing Animal Crossing for me as well, because I was like, I just don't like that style. I just don't think it'd be something I'd be into. And it's just like, I don't think so. But then when I started playing it, after just a couple of days, I was like, I get it.
Yeah, you get it. I don't mind the art style. It's never bothered me.
Yeah, it was fastidious.
It's incredibly, cutesy, but.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it was fastidious.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
All right. Yeah, you did. Tally's about to take you to court here.
The Tally's like, no, sir. Don't you know?
Defamation suit over there. Anyway, it's very good, and it's coming out this week. And so I used the old one just to remember. I was freaking 20 years ago. Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's nuts. And I've had some others have said this in the chat too. I've had every version of Animal Crossing they ever made, including that damn phone game, which I don't think is that great, but it's still a little bit. It's a little bit okay. It's okay. They're bringing some of that crafting stuff to this new one, and that's the stuff I actually like about the phone one, except for the speed up mechanic crap. I hate that.
Yeah. There's nothing. We've talked about this before. Animal Crossing to me has to be paced at the right pace, and the mobile world just does not allow it to do that. And if it's not a leisurely stroll, then forget it. It is not Animal Crossing to me. No.
Hey, I'm with you.
24 years ago was when I captured this next audio clip that you're going to try to guess my game.
Oh my lord! All right, here goes. I'm playing it. Oh, it's snoring. Okay, thought it was a motorcycle at first. I'm waiting for, in the waveform, there's a big bump here in the middle. I'm waiting for that.
Original PlayStation, also Microsoft, DOS.
Oh, okay. I think that's Studios. I don't know.
I love this game. It was doing something visually that no other game was doing at the time.
I am stumped. I don't know. What is
this?
That?
Is the Neverhood.
Oh, the Neverhood.
Yeah, that animated clay animated looking.
Yeah, it was a point and click adventure thing, but
right.
And clay looking.
Yes.
Stop motion looking.
Yep. Published by DreamWorks Interactive.
Let's see, Neverhood. There it is. I remember now. Right.
Yeah,
and
I just love the look of this game.
This is also a very early example of what DreamWorks is trying to do.
Mm-hmm,
they were trying to get into the game development business. They have since pulled. I don't think they do any now.
No, I don't even know if they would do anything now.
Yeah, they used to. But yeah, it was that weird looking bird looking dude. Is he like a duck or something? What was his?
Yeah, yeah. It was like a kind of a duck thing.
Oh, he's so
Very,
weird.
very 90s.
Oh yeah.
There wasn't anything more 90s than this, I think, except for maybe Spot. What was that? 7-Up Spot wasn't the 90s as well?
Yeah, I think Earthworm Jim falls in this category too a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's very like Wallace and Gromit style animation, but the goal here is like point and click, is like Sam and Max or something like that, where you'd go around and click on crap. Yeah, same Amazing Samurai. Do you remember Spielberg was supposed to be all up in this current gen that's about to end?
Right.
He was all kinds of talk about doing stuff. Do you remember that? And then nothing.
Yeah.
Just zip. It never happened.
Yeah, Lucas was doing some stuff back in the day, and
What happened
Spielberg
to the Spielberg thing like 3 years ago? It was like 3 years ago or 4 maybe. But they were up on stage. He wasn't up at an E3 once at a Microsoft conference or something, talking about big talk about. I don't remember. It was something weird, and then zero.
I think it got sidetracked into the 3D stuff. To be honest with you, I think it's what happened. The VR stuff end of it.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe it was. I'm thinking of remember the Wii. He did a Wii thing that was like break down the structures thing on the Wii.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
JC Calhoun says boom blocks.
That's it. Boom blocks. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Oh yeah, Clay Fighter Tyros X7 is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Boom Blocks. That was a weird game.
Boom blocks.
It's basically Angry Birds, sort of. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for that. That was good, Brian. Nice pick. You did a right job.
I actually have so some of those. I think some of those people that helped develop this also did Omicron. It's a Kickstarter that I did a couple of years ago, and there's actually a release of it. I think it's called Omicron. Let me see.
There's Omicron.
Maybe it's not.
Not Omicron. Omicron's a common term.
I thought it was AMAKROG, but apparently it is not.
Omicron was like a Greek alphabet thing.
Right.
Let's see. Omicron video game. Hold on. I'm looking here. Nomad Soul. Nope. David Bowie scenes. Omicron Nomad. Oh, no. Omicron Nomad Soul was a game, but that's ages old.
No. Must be saying the wrong thing then.
99.
Must have that remembered incorrectly.
Oh, weird. That David Bowie in it. I forgot this game existed. Oh,
David
weird.
Bowie?
Yeah, it's called
I love that guy.
It's called Omicron, the Nomad Soul. Wasn't it? I think it was a game, not a movie. Or maybe it was a movie.
Maybe it was a movie.
Okay, well, forget it. Hey, now, oh, look at this. I do remember GameWorks chat room. I used to go there in Vegas all the time until they got rid of it. Now there's a Kohl's down there or something. They're like some kind of closed place.
Colors? Did you say colors?
Oh no, I've invoked the penguin again. It's like saying Candyman. All right, quick email from listener McSteebler. Hi, I'm McSteebler. And he said it was fine to say his name on the show. He says this. What are some games that haven't aged well? Oh, we've been mentioning a bunch of them just now. He says, well, graphically pretty much any game from the PS1 era, but was such an interesting and experimental time for 3D where everything turned out looking pretty goofy. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy, but the PS1 titles are ugly. On one side note, are either of you excited to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake in April? Love the show, and glad that you're back to a weekly format. McSteebler. Well, McSteebler, yeah, there's lots of games like that. I think PlayStation 1 era was certainly host to many of those.
Right.
But another game, a game I really enjoyed on the N64, same era but slightly better 3D graphics was oh shoot, what's it called? It was Rare made it, and you blew up stuff. It was all about just blowing shit up. Destructo. Oh, hold on.
Destructorama.
Let me look up Rare games. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want the company. I mean, I do want the company, not just games that are rare. Oh, okay, here we go. The game we're looking for is Battletoads, Captain Cascade, Sea of Thieves. Nope, we don't want that. Someone in the chat's going to say it before I do it. Blast Corps. Blast Corps. Blast Corps is one of my favorite games on that entire run of that system. I love Blast Corps so much. Go look at it now. It looks like utter ass. And I'm not sure the gameplay holds up the way it used to. I'll bet it doesn't, if I had to guess. I haven't played it in a long time, but I'm guessing it does not. Another good example is we just watched GoldenEye for FilmSack. Had a great time, good time, and we were very fondly thinking of the game. I am telling you right now, that game, for as innovative and as amazing as it was, especially for a console at the time, does not hold up. If we played it right now, we would not have as much fun. It is weird and sloppy and really ugly, and I don't think the gameplay holds up. I think it's got problems.
But it was just amazing. Come a long way. Yeah. It was amazing during this day, as well as the original Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, another good one.
The Tomb Raider, it looks like, oh my gosh. I mean, I can't believe I ever thought that was like the best thing ever. At one point in time, I thought it was like, this is the best thing ever. Look at this.
Really, really like deliberate animations where she'd like, you'd have to stop her at exactly the right spot and then kind of rotate her slowly. And there was another, Resident Evil had those tank controls, which was the worst.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of games like that are, I just don't think would hold up as well today. There are plenty that do, certainly. And I think the SNES era and even NES era, like 16-bit and 8-bit eras, those hold up pretty well.
Yeah.
Because they're just so straightforward. But they were trying to do so many things in this new fandangled 3D era that nobody knew how to do yet. We didn't know how to make, 3D games. We just didn't. So everything was an experiment. And when it worked a little, that was a lot then. But we've come so freaking far. We needed it. It had to happen. That was a period that just freaking had to happen.
Yeah, Atari games, the original 2600 games, those kind of things, those big giant blocks, the games are so simple that they just don't hold at all for me either, as far as gameplay goes.
Yeah.
Pitfall, maybe a little bit. I can play it for a couple of minutes.
Couple minutes max.
Right.
Probably not very much longer. Turok says, amazing. Samurai Zero does not hold up at all. Agreed. Those Turok games are straight up terrible now.
Yeah. And some of the, yeah. I think it was time, on like Good Old Games just had a big deal on those, like a special or something, I thought.
At the time, it was rad. And I also like the comics it's based on. However.
Right. What do you think won't be like, what do you think will be total butthole in a couple of, like, in 10 years? What it's like, no.
Oh, geez.
It's hard to see when you're in it.
When you're in the middle of it, it is hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I know. I think Fortnite, if you stopped developing it today and stopped right now and said, okay, this is Fortnite, it's done.
Right.
And we jump ahead 10 years, I think that is fugly. I think they're going to look at that and go, ugh, really? Is this what we were doing? This is bad.
Gross.
Yeah, I think that's an example. And I don't, it's not me pooping on the gameplay. People love it or whatever, but
it's a bold visual statement with the character design, and I think even the everything's so well lit. Mm-hmm. I think that may be one thing that's gonna make it not hold up.
Well, and someone in the chat room says Minecraft graphics are crap. Disagree. They are on purpose pixelated. It's a pixelated mess on purpose. Like that's the idea. That's by design, and it's not that old. I mean, 2009 is 10 years old, 11 years old, but it's not that old. And I don't think that one counts. They're aiming for something. They were going for something like that. So when you're aiming for stylization like that, that's different than just trying to beat the standards of the day. And Turok is an example of trying to look good.
Rafe is not wrong. You could argue PUBG already looks like poo. I'll say just from...
Oh, it looks like poo. It looked like poo the first time I played it.
2 years ago, but I remember thinking... I guess maybe I just ignored the graphics, maybe?
Because the gameplay was the innovation, right?
Yeah.
So we were all like, ooh, what's this? And then we got on board. But, stuff doesn't age. And it's not always just graphics. Sometimes it's the gameplay. Like, after playing... I don't think I can even touch PUBG. And I know it's got its fans. I'm not knocking you guys. But
absolutely
after playing Warzone, I don't think I can do it. Because Warzone is, like, the amalgamation of all the stuff you've learned. And then there'll be something in the future that does the same thing, and it's all the stuff we've learned. Like, this is the iteration. This is what we do, and it's okay. But there are some games.
I'll put it this way. My 12-year-old 6 months ago was the biggest Fortnite fan you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. In the last 6 months, she's turned completely against it.
Yeah, they
completely.
It's a fickle business, man. It's 1 minute you love it, the next minute. That's the problem with being number one.
But she still likes Minecraft. She has not turned against it.
Well, Minecraft, I think Minecraft has more staying power from the creative aspects of it.
Right.
And it's not just a thing to go pwn fools in, you know? Like you
Right.
can actually go do something in there and make stuff.
Right. I don't want to rewind too much, but Armacrog by Pencil Test Studios. That's what I was
Armacrog.
trying to think of. Is from the Neverhood creators. I kickstarted this back in 2017, and I still haven't played it yet because they had a couple of beta releases, and they finally released the full thing, and it just wasn't on time for me.
What's it called? Armacrog?
Arm, like ARMI, and then Krog,
Armacrog.
KROG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Armacrog.
Okay, I found it. Oh, KROG. All right, here we go.
Yeah, KROG.
Armacrog is a unique stop-motion clay animation point-and-click adventure game from the creators of Earthworm Jim and Neverland. Travel the mysteries of the fortress that holds Tommy Knot and his blind alien talking dog.
Duh.
Oh yeah, look at this. This is totally one of these.
Straight from the Neverhood.
Yeah. It's got mixed reviews. 2015 it came out. So it's been, you're 5 years late, but
Right, I am like, oh my gosh, and I've kickstarted the crap out of that thing. As soon as it announced, I was like, yeah, wow, boy, that's my fault. That's my fault for not sticking.
I'm reading through here. Oh yeah, it's a lot of fighting. It's a lot of reviewers fighting with each other about whether or not this is as good as Neverhead or not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just play it for what it is. It's fine, guys.
Right.
Calm yourselves down. All right, that's it for the email. You can send your emails in to boopshow@gmail.com, or today I'm going to put up on the site maybe I already did. Hold on. frogpants.com/boop has...
Boop.
Nope, I'll put it up today, though. I'm going to put up a form that people can use to just send a quick message. They don't have to even put their name in.
A form?
They don't have to put their email in. They just put in a nickname or some fake name and their message, and that's it. We just get it, and then we read it, and we don't care who it is. We're not tracking you or keeping your info, and it's fast. You just go to the site and you do it. So by the time you guys hear this at home, you should be able to go send one of those messages at frogpants.com/BOOP. You can still do the email. That's not a problem. I'm just trying to give you an easier way to do it so you don't have to go make an email and send it and put in the right recipient and accidentally put one of the letters in wrong. And, oh, no, what have I done? I sent it.
Mayor
Oh, I meant to say a
Frog
thing.
Pants.
Yeah, we're just going to make it easy. So watch for that. All right. I think that's it. frogpants.com/BOOP. Did I say that? I did. It's still the same. It hasn't changed. Also, you can leave us voicemails at 801-471-0462. You can find us on Twitter at Boop Show, the Brian Dunaway, and at Scott Johnson. What else? Boopshow.reddit.com.
That's a pretty mouthful there.
That's
It's
it.
a pretty good mouthful.
Yeah, it's a show. Next week I'll have another great name or stupid name, great game. So
Oh
watch
yes,
that.
we didn't do that this week, did we?
Yeah,
No.
I just didn't research when I didn't have time, but I will definitely.
Well, we
have one
kind of
next
did
week.
because I kept trying to say Armacrog, Armacrog.
Armacrog, also a terrible.
But it wasn't
name.
a great game though, apparently.
Oh,
so
right.
I guess it doesn't. Really
Yeah, great game is the hard part.
Stupid
right?
name.
Yeah, stupid name, average game. All right, that's it. Thank you guys very much for being here. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy and doing all you can to help each other, help your neighbors, help yourselves, and help your families. And,
Help yourselves.
And help yourselves.
help others and help yourselves.
Help yourselves.
Just help yourself.
Well, take care of yourself so you can take care of others. A little bit of both. And we'll be back next week with more of this nonsense. We hope you'll come back and be with us. For me, for Brian, for all of you. We'll see you next time.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
I don't like Steam. I love Steam. Yeah.
Hey, Tyros.
Oh, I see the chat room is able to use the emojis I submitted today. Very
Oh,
good.
that's good. Emojis. Oh, in the thing. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, emotes.
Nice. I need to make some new ones. I've been lazy
Yeah.
on that front. I'll do it, guys. I promise.
I promise. I'll get right on it right after Animal
Crossing ruins my life. Oh, did I lose the stream? Sorry. Oh, shit.